we're going to talk about in this session is we're going to talk about the shooting guard. Shooting guard's responsibilities are not as numerous as a point guard, but they're every bit as important. The whole emphasis on a team is everybody needs to know their role and take care of their own responsibility. Now, what do you think the shooting guard's primary responsibility is? Shoot the ball. Doesn't mean just shoot it, it means what else?
Score.
Make the shots, right? Critical. You don't want a shooting guard shooting 30% from the 3 or the 2-point area of the court. It's not a good scenario. General description of a shooting guard. Shooting guards are the silent assassins for your team. They need to hit open shots, have a great shot fake, hit shots off the dribble, shots off of screens, shots off the break, and shots off of out-of-bounds plays. Basically, shooting guard shoots the ball on the offensive end of the floor. It's not the only thing, but it is their primary responsibility. And that's what we're after. A shooting guard, typically, if it's a good shooting guard, is going to average 15 to 20 points a game. If you have a player that gets more points than that average, we're talking average, then really what you're talking about is a player that's more of a scorer than a shooter. Shooting guard should be somewhere around at least 15 points a game. If they're exceptionally good, they're going to be higher. Let's talk about who shooting guards have been in the past. Jerry West is the guy that is the shadow of the image on the NBA logo that's dribbling. That's Jerry West. Yes, it's Jerry West. That's who that was designed after. Jerry West was one of the most prolific shooters in NBA history. He was called, his nickname was Mr. Clutch. And he used to go out religiously every day, go out and take and make his 500 shots a day. Now remember, when Jerry West played, he would get in the playoffs and average, not average, but get 34, 42, 46 points. They didn't have a three-point line when he played. You talk about a shooter in college, the best shooter in college history was who?
Pete.
Absolutely, the Pistol. Pistol Pete Maravich. Career scoring average is 44.3. Now, 3 years, varsity, NCAA, Division I competition. Do you think he practiced? You know how many hours a day he said he practiced after practice? 4. 4 hours a day. He didn't do that as much in the pros. He averaged in the 20s in the pros. But 4 hours a day outside of practice. This is what he lived for. I'm not telling you to go practice 4 hours a day. You need to have a balanced life. But I want you to understand why he was so phenomenal. Now, you want to add insult to injury? If you've studied anything about basketball, we've told you to become a student of the game. Pistol Pete Maravich's shots, the majority of his jump shots were out about here off the dribble. Is that true, Coach?
Yeah.
Did he have a three-point line when he played? No. Do you think that would have been up closer to 50? That's astounding. Great shooter. Jerry West was a great shooter, 500 shots a day. Anybody know who Lisa Leslie is? Center of the Sparks. How good is she?
Very good.
Is she like first team WNBA? Olympic gold medalist. Good shooter? Good scorer? Terrific shooter, right? She goes out and makes her hundreds of shots every day. If you find a player that you believe is a good shooter, go do your homework, you'll find that they all have similar habits. If you want to be a shooter, you have to do as they have done. Larry Bird went out and took 200 three-point shots before every game. Not the day before, day of. 200. You're saying 200. Well, I'll be tired if I do that. I won't be fresh for the game. That's what you're thinking, aren't you? How many have ever shot for about an hour the day of a game? Did you have a good shooting game? Typically you do. Typically you will. It's an amazing phenomenon, but that's how it works. The fundamentals never change. Just the names of the players that use them. Lisa Leslie, Jerry West, Pete Maravich, Larry Bird. You look at Glenn Rice today,